Hi, Lou here, and I'm going to talk about something I call coach versus general manager. It's a way that games can be designed, and I'm going to illustrate it with an analogy to professional sports. In professional sports, you have a coach, generally, who is in charge of the players and tries to get the best out of the players that he has. And you have a general manager whose job is to obtain players that will do better for the coach and hopefully be better players than what he's got. They're two separate roles, but occasionally in the United States, it's combined in one person. Evidently, though, people who are good at being general manager are not necessarily good at being coach and vice versa. Now, in European and international soccer, it's quite different. You used to have a general manager, a manager who did both. Arsene Wenger, when he was the manager of Arsenal for 22 years, did both. He could obtain players and he could coach. But nowadays, this is split up. So usually you have a coach and you have a director of football, which is the equivalent of a general manager. The coach's job is to, again, get the best out of the players he has and to advise a general manager about what he feels he needs. And the general manager or director of football's job is to get the players that the coach wants. So in international football, we get this situation where the famous coaches have a great deal of influence over what players are obtained. And so they have a different mindset about how they're coaching. A coach of a team down in the championship or farther down in the football league, they don't have a lot of money to spend on new players. So the coach focuses on getting the best he can out of the players. They have to find solutions within the group of players that they have. For somebody like Pep Guardiola or Jose Mourinho and so forth, their solution is to buy different players, to make the players fit their system rather than to pick the best system for the players that they've got. A very big difference. Think about it. You either take what you've got and make the best of it, or you spend a lot of money to get players who will fit the system that you want to play. And most coaches don't have the ability to do that. They're just not in that situation. Now let's transfer this to games, especially tabletop games. You can make a game where the player's job is to take the assets that he has or she has and do the best they can with them. Or you can make a game where the player's job is to obtain the best assets they can get and possibly not do much to actually coach them. Something like Dominion, perhaps, or other deck building games might be seen as that. You're obtaining assets, you're not actually using them. Now, some people have made deck building games where you obtain the assets and then you play some other version of the game within the game where you have to use those assets well. So you're a general manager first and then you're a coach. Now, general manager tends to be perhaps more comfortable. A coach is kind of stuck with what they've got. And so they have to be more flexible. With general manager, you can pursue the system like a system in soccer that fits your particular desires and how you do things. And I would say that in general, war games, especially battle games where you don't have any economy, tend to be coaches' games, whereas Euro games tend to be general managers' games. So when you're designing a game, one of the things you want to ask yourself is this a coach's game? Is it a general manager's game? Is it both? Where am I on that spectrum? Because of course a game can be both. And that's going to make a big difference to the sort of game that you design. So I've talked about this at greater length elsewhere, but that's the nutshell version of it. Thanks for listening.